What is up, y'all? Give me 1 second. Good to see you from the Black Couch. I'm just testing out my stream, making sure everything's good. Can you all hear me? Put a 1 in the chat if you could hear me. Sound is good? Okay, great. Almond Eyes, good to see you. Who man? Yeah, y'all love that Chelsea with the good posture thing. We can thank Derek for that one. We'll thank Derek because he's the one that sent Cree that. And ever since then, that's all anybody ever says to me. What's up, G Honda? Good to see you all here. I know some people are probably going to be ear hustling or doing what they got to do after work. So, probably going to be a small group. I don't expect a whole lot right now, and that's okay. Because we are going to get into these coaches who have been fired. Oh yeah, there was some I missed from earlier. Cree was in the last one. Lauren, you showed up. Yeah, okay. I think I covered everybody. So, let's get into it. Because I have a... Is that a Realtree hoodie? Yeah. Yep. It's my hoodie. I've had this for a long time, y'all. Because I actually do hunt. So, the camo that I have is things that I actually use. What was that? Oh, it's the Discord? Y'all, that scared me for a second. I was like, what is that noise? It's the Discord notifications. Alright, so back to it. That got me distracted. We're going to be covering these NFL coaches who have been fired. And trust me, it's going to be about Rushmore, as you could tell by the thumbnail. And I have a presentation that I'm going to show y'all. I might have to move my camera. We'll see. Yeah, I'm going to move my camera so you all can see me. Might make me smaller here. Put me in the corner. Ooh, the presentation's playing. Hold up, presentation. Hold up. Hold up. We ain't ready yet. Oh, my bad. There we go. What'd you say? Mine did the same thing, Chelsea. I was like, what the F is going on? Are you talking about... What are you talking about? I'm lost. Probably with the internet or something. I don't know. Or with the live. I don't know. Stefani. Are you talking about Stefanski? I like saying his name. I like saying Stefanski. It sounds cool. I'm good with all of them except Raheem. Yes, Almond Eyes, I agree with you. Girl, we gonna get into it. I agree with you on that. And this is why I have this whole presentation here. You might not be able to see this one because this is a lot of details. It's going to get into, okay, so what I have with this presentation is a pros and cons list of the firing. So there's going to be pros and there's going to be cons to it. I also have where I think they might land next, and y'all can chime in with who y'all think will, like, where they'll go next. So I have Raheem going to the Vikings next as a defensive coordinator, possibly. Coach Freeman from Notre Dame coming to Pittsburgh. Yeah, I see you laughing about that. Hold on, I'm gonna minimize that. Yeah, no. I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening at all. Let me see if I can. Actually, you know what, y'all? I'm gonna move up the chat. There we go. So now I can see your chats too. I'm gonna readjust the chat, maybe put it down here. Okay. I don't see that happening because he already agreed to stay at Notre Dame. But let me get into this presentation now, because y'all gonna get me distracted. You all know how I am. Let's see. I have it right here, and that's where I'm gonna read from. So I put a pro. A pro is, it's a necessary change for a fresh start for the Falcons. They've been stuck in a cycle of mediocrity for years. For years now, this has been a theme. And they need like a complete leadership overall. And that's seen as essential right now for the Falcons. So that could be a pro, is a fresh start. Another pro is an opportunity for a proven winner to be hired as a head coach. So the firing allows the Falcons to pursue a head coach with proven winning record or Super Bowl experience. But I will say they're slim pickings with that. I will say. Check out some of your comments here. Let's see what Almanac said. Trash coaching has been the problem. They get a real one and get the oldest players on the planet for Raheem. Yep. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. Almanac. So here's the cons. Here's the cons that I have for Raheem being fired. Loss of positive locker room dynamic. He was well liked among the players. You had the running back, Rajeen Robinson, coming to his defense. He really liked Morris as a head coach. And this firing, despite the team's losing season, it can disrupt the locker room and cause more stability issues and create a constant pattern of that. So that's a con that I have for this firing. Another con is the risk in a weak let me speak English. Risk in a weak coaching market. So the list of available coaching candidates is, like I said, considered slim pickings, and I don't know what they'll get. I don't know what they will get with what's going to be available. I don't know. I mean, you've had other coaches get fired. Would they be willing to hire one of them? Who knows? We'll see. I think maybe the Browns head coach I could see being a top contender. But I mean, I don't know. The Falcons might struggle to find a better replacement than what Morris gave them. So the Falcons head coach being fired is the one that upset me the most. Oh, okay. I see Ty Pro snuck in here. What's up, Ty Pro? The Falcons' struggle is just karma for how Arthur Blank treated Michael Vick. The NFL recycles coaches. It's never anyone new. I had a 70s flashback. What you talking about from the Black Couch? Eric Jordan. What is up? Alright. Let's move on to the next coach. I forgot y'all are on this one. Let me move it on. There we go. Man, that acid sticks with you, don't it? What you Oh, okay. You're talking from the Black Couch. I was like, what you talking about? Okay. We have Kevin Stefanski being fired from the Browns. Next, he could possibly go to the Giants, Titans, Raiders. Now that the Falcons are looking for someone, he could go to the Falcons. The pro of this firing is a new offensive voice being needed. Despite Stefanski being dubbed as an offensive expert, the Browns offense ranked near the bottom of the league in yards and points during the last, I don't know if it was the last two. I guess the last two. So they've really struggled. Another pro is an opportunity for a proven leader. The move allows the organization to pursue a head coach with a different leadership style. Now here's the cons with this. A con is loss of stabilizing force. So Stefanski provided a measure of stability for the franchise, particularly amidst the constant changes at the quarterback position. And that's where they've struggled since Baker Mayfield left. You know, they brought in Deshaun Watson. He had all those legal issues and then injuries. They drafted 2 QBs. They've just really struggled with the QB position. Now, actually, no, did I say that was a con? I think I said that was a con. That's a con of him being fired. Another con is Stefanski's success when he had a competent QB. I talked about this just a little bit ago. He was very successful when he had a really great QB, like he did with Baker Mayfield. And I think I listed, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I listed the winning 11 games in both 2020 and 2023. So many argue that the issue was a lack of a reliable QB and an imperfect roster versus it being on the coaching, which I think I could probably agree with. I think the QB position is a big factor in a coach's success. Like you've seen it with Tom Brady and you've seen it with Bill Belichick. What happened when Bill Belichick didn't have Tom Brady? It didn't work out. They really struggled. So, I mean, I think when you have great coaching and a great QB, that's what makes the team work. Let me go back to your comments here. Years overdue. Baker isn't a great QB. Now, I don't agree with that, Almanaz. I think he is a great QB, and I think he proved it this last game because he beat the Panthers. He ended up, and this is, y'all, I called it. What did I tell you all? What happened in my last live? I said that after the Panthers won one against the Bucks, I was like, watch Baker Mayfield and the Bucks be looking for revenge, come out and win. That's what they did. So, I mean, Baker Mayfield's been a successful QB, and he's part of the reason why the Browns had such a successful season up until they traded him. I can't remember if they traded him, released him, I don't know. But up until that point, like, you know, we didn't know what was going to happen with Baker Mayfield's career, and I think he proved himself with the Bucks. Now, do I think he's going to come out and win a Super Bowl or anything like that? I don't know, but he's definitely proven himself to be one of the top QBs. Let's see what else. No, the refs beat the Panthers. Even the NFL said that. Now, yeah, you could argue that they did have some questionable calls, but that's just the way it's been going. This is something that we've all been talking about, is there needs to be more repercussions for the refs for calling games like that. But is what it is. Do I still think Baker Mayfield is a talent? Yes. Yes, I do. All right. Let's see what's next on this list. We have Pete Carroll. Y'all, Pete Carroll, let me tell you. The pro of Pete Carroll being fired is the Raiders have secured the #1 overall draft pick. After the draft, I'm struggling to speak English today. After the disastrous season that they had, Carroll did manage to clinch them the first draft selection, and they could be taking Indiana's QB, Fernando Mendoza. We'll see what happens in the draft, but the Raiders are probably definitely someone who needs a QB. Another pro is moving on from a failing offense, because they fired their offensive coordinator mid-season. That just showed you like they were really struggling. Now, Pete Carroll's always been someone who's been a very defensive-minded coach, just like, you know, Bill Belichick and many others. He's always been more defensive-minded, and you've seen that with the Steelers. So when he didn't have a good offense that was already like really established and a great coordinator that could get something going, he really struggled. I think he could have been a great head coach for the Raiders if they had the offense worked out for him. But we've seen how that went. So a con of him being fired is continued organization and stability. The Raiders have now had like a 5th full-time head coach since 2021 of firings. Carroll was the 5th. So I don't know how this is going to help them. Another con is loss of a cultural builder. Carroll is someone who, when hired, was going to be the person to create a stable winning culture, similar to what he did with Seattle. So firing him after 1 year, 1 season, you're already starting over again. It's just another long-term vision just to have another total rebuild year. Ooh, you got some questions for me. I like it. Chelsea. you think Tampa will offer a deal to the Browns for Shedeur or Deshaun or another team? So Deshaun, like I said before, Deshaun is staying. Deshaun Watson is staying. Hold on, let me move the chat out of the way. Deshaun Watson is staying. He had a really great contract constructed for him, and it prevents the Browns from getting rid of him, really. They have to abide by it or they're going to have a buyout, and that hurts them for getting players. Like, that hurts your cap, all of that. So the Browns are stuck with Deshaun. I don't see them getting rid of Shedeur Sanders. I don't see them doing that because now they're out of a QB. Like, you're waiting for Deshaun Watson to recover, get out of his legal troubles, all that. You also have Dillon, who is out. I think Flacco went out. So now you're left with Sanders. They're going to keep Sanders. I don't see them getting rid of Sanders. I think it's going to come down to Dillon. Gabriel Dillon. I think it's going to come down to him being traded, released, whatever. Most likely traded. All right. Moving on to what'd you say? They can't trade Deshaun because of his contract unless he changes it. Yep, they have to abide by that or they're going to have the buyout. So, like I said, they're stuck with him. And I don't see them. They've already said they're not giving up Sanders. They made that clear. Even when they had the 3 QBs healthy, they said they're not giving up. Well, minus Deshaun, obviously, because he was out for like an Achilles injury. But they made it clear they were not giving up Sanders. Now that, what makes me question Gabriel Dillon is the fact that since he got injured, we didn't really see much out of him. I don't know if they're going to be willing to keep him. I don't know. I'm interested to see how that goes. They're going to have to get rid of one of them. Flacco was temporary. We all know Flacco was just a temporary solution whenever, who was it went out? Who did they start? Or was it Flacco that got hurt? I can't keep up with all the QB mess that went on there. I just know Sanders is playing right now. Sanders should be the starter. They need to build a program around him. And if they get rid of him, send him to the Cowboys. Alright. Let's see. Next, we have Jonathan Gannon from the Cardinals being fired. Y'all, a pro of this firing is they get the number 3 draft pick. They might look for a QB because Kyler Murray has not been doing well. So they really might consider getting a QB. I don't know who would be another top pick for a QB entering the draft. I just know of the Indiana QB being going to be in the draft. That's the only one I know of. Because I know Ty Simpson from Alabama is staying. I don't know about, Carson Beck. Carson Beck might be an option. I don't know if he would be a good fit, but Carson Beck from Miami might be a good option. We'll see. We'll see what happens. My guess, they're going to go QB. A con of this is, or did I? Okay, another pro. I missed the pro one. Another pro is an opportunity for an offensive-minded coach. He was another defensive-minded coach, so they really need someone offensive-minded to help build a QB. So I think they might go for a coach that's more offensive-minded. We'll see what happens with that. He is only, y'all, he is only like 43. So he's still young. I don't see him getting another head coaching position. I don't. I think well, I mean, I won't say never. Like, he could, but since he's young, he didn't have a great season with the Cardinals. I think he's going to go back to being a defensive coordinator. I don't know where he's going to land. The Vikings, I know the Vikings are going to probably be looking for a defensive coordinator with Flores' contract being up, and we'll see if Flores gets another head coaching opportunity. But I think Gannon's going to go back to being a defensive coordinator. I think he needs time to another year or two to build up a successful reputation again, and then he'll probably be looked at as a head coach. Teams keep trying to get the Patriots magic with Tom Brady and Bill. Yeah, well, I mean, that's always the goal, right? The goal is to always have a great coach and QB. That's always the goal. That's always what you need to be successful. I mean, it's really difficult to win one without the other. I think in some cases, the discussion always becomes which position is more important. Is the coaching more important, or is it the players? Is it the quarterback? That's always an interesting, heated topic that I've seen discussed. You said he sucked as a defensive coordinator? Great defense head coach and great QB. Yeah, that's what I would always go for, Pooh Man. That's why you've seen Bill Belichick have so much success, is because he was such a defensive-minded head coach. And obviously, Tom Brady was built up to be great. So that's why you've seen that success that you've seen with the Patriots. And that's why, honestly, that's why Tom Brady, whenever Tom Brady went to the Bucks, it was another, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it was coaching or if it was just Tom Brady. That one, when you have such a talented QB like that, it's difficult to say. It's just difficult to say if it was the coaching that played a part in that one. The Patriots magic was NFL created. Alright, I think I covered all the coaches, the pros and cons. So you had Gannon being fired, Pete Carroll being fired, Stefanski being fired, and you had Morris being fired. Let me move my... Actually, you know what? I wanted to show y'all... Let me see. I did want to show you all a link that Divine Photos sent me. Let me see where it's at. There we go. All right. Let me get this link brought up. I don't have X, so I don't know if it's going to make me log in. Hopefully it doesn't make me log in, y'all. If not, I could just read it. Okay, there we go. So it says, football is a cold business. The Atlanta Falcons head coach, Raheem Morris, hugged owner Arthur Blank and his son, Josh, after the game. After they won, by the way, they won that game. Just a couple of hours later, Atlanta Falcons fired Morris after just 2 seasons as the coach. Cold world we live in. Isn't that crazy? Y'all, like, he gave him hugs. I don't know. Like, I don't know if it was the case where, like, he kind of knew what it was, and that's why he just, you know, it was like a goodbye hug. I don't know. I don't know the situation with that. Either way, that's extremely sad. I really feel for these coaches. I really feel for head coaches in the league, because they are not viewed as a priority. Their job is just temporary. If you're not having success, they're going to get rid of you so fast. They want success immediately these days. And if you're not giving them that success, it's not going to work out for you. And it's sad that it's like that. Let's see what you said. This doesn't make me log, and I don't have X. Yeah, okay. Oh, it doesn't make you log in. Yeah, it didn't make me log in. I'm gonna exit out of this now that I'm done with this. The list needs to grow. Are you talking about the list needs to grow for fired coaching? Who would you want to see fired? Almanize. Who else would you want to see fired? What is up, Mo? Good to see you. I was happy. Ooh, Almanize. Almanize. Can we talk about the possibility of John Harbaugh being fired? Y'all, I've been waiting for that one. That's the one I'm waiting on. I don't know if he'll be fired because, y'all, he spent, well, I don't know, because we seen how it went down with Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick said that he wasn't fired, but we kind of all know, like, he got pushed out the door. I'm wondering if that's not going to be the case for John Harbaugh. Like, if out of respect, they're not going to say he was fired, they just parted ways, that type of thing. Like, he wanted to do, like, go explore another option, something like that. I don't know if that's what we'll see with John Harbaugh. But whenever the Ravens lost, I'm wondering if that's not gonna... I'm waiting to see if he ends up being fired, y'all. That's one. We'll add him to the Mount Rushmore if he ends up being fired. Mike Tomlin, y'all, that was such an interesting game against Steelers and the Ravens, because I wanted to see who would win, because I knew both coaches had their job on the line. People have been talking for months now about Mike Tomlin being fired. I'm not for that. I love Mike Tomlin. I think he's a great head coach. And he's had a successful career with the Steelers. people were ready to fire him. And then he started winning these games, and then they were back on the Mike Tomlin train again. It was crazy to me. So whenever we watched the Ravens and the Steelers, and Mike Tomlin ended up winning, I was very happy for Mike Tomlin. Now, I have seen some reports, y'all. I didn't like some of the reports I was seeing. Some report I saw said something like Aaron Rodgers saves Mike Tomlin, like, from being fired, something like that. I didn't like that, y'all. Like, what kind of mess is that? I didn't like that headline. I thought that was inaccurate, but part of the game, I guess. Mike Tomlin, I was excited for him though. I wanted it for Lamar Jackson, because at the Ravens, I wanted it for Lamar Jackson, but I just knew that Mike Tomlin's job was probably on the line, and I didn't want to see him lose, because I wanted to see him stay. I was torn in that game, y'all. I was torn who I wanted to go for in that game. I would have been happy for Lamar Jackson, but then I would have been sad for Mike Tomlin. And it's like vice versa. Like, I'm happy that Mike Tomlin won, but I'm sad because Lamar Jackson had a great game. He was dropping dimes in that game. He had one play, y'all, that had me so hyped up. He had a play where he escaped a sack, got out of the pocket, threw a deep ball downfield, and it was caught. That play got me so excited. Hold on, y'all. I think, my bad, y'all. Whenever I exit out, that's why I was like, why am I not seeing y'all's chats? It's because I didn't leave this window open. What a rookie move from me. I'll get the chat reconnected. Hold on. Okay, let me read some of your comments while that loads. Let's see. Where should I start off with? Unless your name is Jim Harbaugh. Okay, yeah, so Amanaj, you were agreeing with me about Harbaugh being fired. Oh man, one of my coworkers loved Jim Harbaugh. Yeah, he is. Now, I like Jim, oh, not Jim. Okay, Mo. There's two of them. So his brother, who coached for Michigan, is Jim. Jim Harbaugh lit up Michigan in flames, went to the Chargers, and that's where he's at now. So that's his brother. John Harbaugh is at the Ravens. That's who we're talking about. He should have been fired 4 years ago. Are you talking about John Harbaugh? They say that every season about MT taking that knee and kicking a 44 in the wind was stupid as heck. Anything for Aaron Rodgers. Alright, I think I got all your comments. Hopefully my chat starts working. I messed up, y'all, whenever I clicked out of that. But I think I covered everything with the coaching. That was really all I wanted to get on here and talk about. I might make a video about everything going on. Okay, now here we go. My chat's working again now that I brought that back up. Lamar needs to get out of Baltimore. Almond Eyes, I agree with you. I think I'm torn between it because I want it so bad. I want Lamar Jackson to win a Super Bowl there so bad because of his draft. What he said in his draft, he said, they're going to get a Super Bowl out of me. Because he was disappointed that, I can't remember which team didn't take him off the board, but he was disappointed. And that's when he made the comment to Deion Sanders. He was like, they're going to get a Super Bowl out of me. So I want so bad for Lamar Jackson to have a Super Bowl with the Ravens. But obviously it's not happening. I've been torn. I've been torn about it. Which one coached for San Francisco? Okay, so I don't know about that. I just know that Jim Harbaugh came from Michigan. He was the Michigan head coach, left, went to the Chargers, and that's where he's at now. John Harbaugh, his brother, let me look into it. That's a good question, Mel. Harbaugh. Okay, so it says that Harbaugh, I didn't know this about Jim. He coached at San Francisco from 2011. Actually, I probably did know, I just didn't pay attention. I don't like San Francisco. But he coached there from 2011 to 2014. What the flip in world? He was the head coach when they got a Super Bowl. I didn't realize. I forgot about this, y'all. I'm relearning again. I forgot all about this. I just know what he did. I think what scarred me with Harbaugh, Jim Harbaugh, is the fact that he went to coach at Michigan. He was on the hot seat. Everybody knows the season before that championship, he was on the hot seat. Everybody was talking about how he was probably going to be fired if he didn't win. And I think he said, to heck with it, I'm going to cheat my way to the top, and then I'm going to get out of there, go back to the NFL before I get fired. So that's what he did. He cheated his way to the top at Michigan, and then got the heck out of there. And now he's with the Chargers as a head coach. Because he could get back to the NFL no problem. And that's what we saw happen. He really, I just was so disgusted with what he did at Michigan. He got Michigan fined. They had recruiting restrictions. What else happened to Michigan? There are so many things to go down with Michigan. I just was not happy. And he has the one thing that did come out of it is I think he has like a 10-year show clause. He cannot, if he was to get fired at the NFL, he could not go back to college because he has that show clause on him where he got in trouble. So there was one good thing that came out of it, but I don't like Jim Harbaugh. Let me go back to your comments here. I got on a little Jim Harbaugh rant. Do you know about Jim Harbaugh rivalry with Pete Carroll? No, I do not, but it would make sense to me. I would not be surprised by that. They played each other in the Super Bowl, yeah. Jim and John each played each other in Super Bowl like 14 years ago. That's crazy. I didn't realize, you know what? I forgot all about this. Now, they did play each other recently again whenever it was the Chargers in Baltimore. coached Kaepernick in Super Bowl. They lost to the Ravens. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that, G Honda. Jim also coached Andrew Luck at Stanford before he went to San Francisco. Yeah. How was he able to cheat to the top as a coach, not winning games? No, okay, so this was the season before, Mo. The season before, he was not doing well, and they said if he didn't have success the next season, he was going to be fired. So whenever he started the next season, he cheated his way to the top. There was scandals for sign stealing. He had other things going on. I think he had to sit out he got suspended for a couple games during that season. There was just a lot of mess going on at Michigan when they won their national championship. They cheated their way to the top, got a national championship, and Jim Harbaugh left, went to the Chargers, and Michigan got stuck with a ton of penalties, and now they're back at it again with scandals. So, yeah, that was just a mess. Oh, okay, wow. Yeah, that's how. It wasn't during that season, it was what happened prior. Clutch Sports Media, salute. It's been crazy. It's been crazy Black Monday. It's going to be interesting to see where some of these coaches land. Yeah, I talked about some of them, like Pete Carroll, retirement. He's going back to retirement, y'all. I mean, unless the only thing I could see him doing is commentating, sports analyst, something like that. But I see him going back to retirement. They're like, they're done with him. Now, the Cardinals coach, he's young. I think he needs some more experience under his belt before he gets hired as a head coach again. So he could land a job with the Vikings as a defensive coordinator because Brian Flores' contract is up. And then I don't know what's going to happen with Raheem Morris. I would love to see him land, somewhere again as a head coach. I don't know. I don't know if it'll happen. We'll see. Pete is almost 80 years old. It's crazy to think about because him, Nick Saban, and Bill Belichick, I think are all the same age. They're all 74. Well, actually, Nick Saban's birthday is on Halloween, so he's 75, so they all gotta be 75 now. What's good, people? What's up, D-Money? Good to see you in here. Prolific Minds Podcast. Y'all already know. Go subscribe to Prolific Minds Podcast. We be having some good discussions over there. It's always a good time over there. So y'all already know. Go subscribe to Prolific Minds Podcast. So you said, do I have Super Bowl predictions? So I have a few theories. I had the Bills, possibly. I had the Patriots, possibly. Bears. I would have to look. Let me look. Let's see. Which ones? Eagles. Eagles was another one. I gotta look at the list here. Okay, so for the NFC, you have the Eagles, Bears. Okay, so this is another thing. Since the Falcons won against the Saints, that put... Actually, no, I think that gave them a wild card. No, it was the Bucks. One of the two. I don't see them really making it. Between Bucks, Panthers, it don't matter. I don't really see them making it. You also have the Seahawks. Okay, so right now, after I watched the Seahawks play against the 49ers, Seahawks look good, y'all. They have a good run game. They have great defense. Seahawks look really strong. I would go Seahawks, Eagles, Bears. Bears are a concern for me. I still think Bears are a top choice, but Bears are a concern for me. I think the defense, they got to get something going on defense. Well, I don't know. Their defense has been, it just seems like a lot of points. A lot of points get racked up in that game. And I've seen a lot of struggles whenever they played the Lions. If they get that straightened out, yeah, I think I could see something with the Bears maybe. I'm in my work uniform. Oh, okay. Now let me go to the AFC. Y'all, this is where it gets difficult for me because you have the Patriots and the Bills in the same one. So that's for the East. You have Patriots, Bills, Dolphins, Jets, part of the AFC East. Patriots and Bills are the ones that are like interesting. Does the NFL want it for Josh Allen this time? Will they finally make Josh Allen that guy? Because we've all seen Josh Allen go down in disappointment with games against Mahomes and have heartbreakers. Will they finally want it for Josh Allen? Or will they go for Drake May, the new guy for the Patriots? And you also, y'all, you have those scandals going on right now. They have 2 players right now in some legal scandals, Stephon Diggs being one of them. So if they're able to keep their players, like, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But Patriots look good. I don't know. That's going to be one I'm keeping my eyes on. Steelers, do they want the old man back in it? That's another one. Do they want Mike Tomlin to finally have another Super Bowl? And will Aaron Rodgers get his last Super Bowl before he retires? That's one to keep an eye on. The Jaguars, shout out Highway 20 Skinny, because y'all know he likes the Jaguars. That's his team. But Jaguars, I haven't really seen a whole lot of games with them, but do they want it for Trevor Lawrence? I don't really see it. Could happen. Who knows? Broncos. The AFC, y'all, I get really irritated. I know the Eagles won a Super Bowl. But why does the AFC always have such dominant teams? It gets on my nerves. It gets on my nerves seeing them have such dominant teams. But the Broncos, they're another good team. But they got beat by the Jaguars, so I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. I can't decide. I think Patriots, Bills, between those two and the Steelers, there's just, I don't know. It's too much for me to decide. No, Bills ain't gonna make it. Sorry. They gotta go. Oh, I got some Buffalo Bills fans in here, so you're gonna break some hearts. Clutch Sports Media, you're gonna break some hearts in here. Saying that. What's up, A-Team? Good to see you. Yeah, I think the playoffs about to be trash. Tyro, you're only saying that because the Lions are out. I think you're only saying that because the Lions are out of the game. Which I don't blame you. Pooh Man doesn't... Chelsea doesn't like sunshine. I don't know what it is, but I never liked him. I don't know. I don't know. It's because he played for Clemson, y'all. I don't like Clemson. It's that. I can't get past it. Y'all know how I am. I said it on Cree last night. I said, if I don't like your team, if I despise a team, like I can't stand, in college football, can't stand, I would say 2 teams. I can't really stand, well, no, 3. No, 4. 4, okay. Can't stand Tennessee, can't stand Clemson, can't stand Ohio State, and can't stand Michigan. Those are the 4 teams. I don't know why. I don't know why, but I just can't stand those teams. And I think maybe it's because he played for Clemson, that's why I can't. I don't know. I do like Travis Hunter, though. If I wanted to see someone succeed, it'd probably be Travis Hunter. I say what you want about his, like, personal relationship. I don't care about all that now. I ain't getting into all that. I don't care about all that. I care about how he plays, y'all. I know he was out for an injury, but I've kept up with his career since college, whenever he was at Colorado. I want to see that kid succeed. Pats versus Seahawks. Yeah, I think Seahawks are a top one. I think let me go back to it. Actually, you know what? I need to show you guys this. Hold on. I gotta recreate a different window here so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Y'all, I was supposed to get off here. It's 7 o'clock. Here I am still chit-chatting. It's okay. I don't even know if y'all can see it. There we go. So you can see the standings. This is for the AFC. We've got the Patriots and the Bills right here. Patriots have 14 wins, 3 losses. Bills have 12 wins, 5 losses. Let's see. I want to see. Oh, y'all. Now, this is interesting. Okay, so Patriots are on a 3-game win streak. Bills only have 1. Let me look at Bills. I want to see who they lost to. Let me look. Oh, they play. Y'all, that's going to be a good game. Bills and Jaguars. I can't wait to. Y'all, it's Monday Night Football. I was supposed to get off here. Who's playing tonight? Is it Monday? I don't know my days right now. Hold on. Okay, yeah, it's Monday. Who plays football tonight? Why don't y'all just tell me who? I'm just gonna go with this app. This app will tell me, hopefully. Is there any games tonight? There should be. It's not telling me who plays. No games tonight. Thank you, Clutch Sports. I was about to lose my mind. I was like, why is it not showing me who's playing or not? Thank you, Clutch Sports. Man, I'm out of it today, y'all. So, back to this. I got so off topic because I was panicking over games. Bills, Jaguars, that's going to be a good game. But here's who they've lost to. Dang, they lost to... Y'all. Did they really lose? Okay, that was... Okay, never mind. That was December 28th. So, they lost to... Trying to find their last loss. Why is it saying they're only a one win streak? They beat the Jets. Okay, I see why. They lost to the Eagles by 1 point. I don't know, y'all. That kind of tells me something. Next Monday night, Steelers Texans. That's gonna be such a good game. Clutch Sports. I love Will Anderson Jr. Come on now. Like, he played for Bama. That boy is lethal. I've loved him ever since Alabama. I can't wait to see that game. No offense. I actually, man, I'm torn. That's another game I'm going to be torn against. I really want to go for the Texans, though. Who do you got, Clutch Sports, in that game? I really want to go for the Texans. Just because I love Will Anderson Jr. So Bills lost to the Eagles by 1 point. That kind of makes me wonder about them. They beat the Browns by 3 points. They did beat the Patriots. Y'all, they did beat the Patriots. So that's something. Beat the Steelers. They beat the Texans. So I will say the Bills have had a tough schedule. I will say that. The Bills have had a tough schedule to where they could build something. They could grow. They can learn from mistakes. I can't wait to see this Jaguars game. I think Bills win it, but we'll see. He's clutch and got after Josh Allen in the worst way. Yeah. Chelsea, the Miss Cleo of football. Who will win? Chelsea. Yeah. I want to go. I'm biased. Okay, so don't take my word for this. Don't take my word for this against the Steelers, y'all. Because you know, if there's one thing about the NFL, they really like some storylines in a way. Do they want it for the old man Rodgers? Do they want him to get a last Super Bowl before he retires? We've seen it with Tom Brady. We've seen it with Peyton Manning. Trying to think of another quarterback. Those are the two that come to my mind. Like, will they want it for the old man Rodgers before he retires? I don't know. Do they want it for Mike Tomlin? Do they want to see Mike Tomlin succeed after all the talks, after all the bad talks on Mike Tomlin? Do they want to see him come out and win a Super Bowl? I don't know. We'll see. But I am biased towards Will Anderson Jr. Because he played for Bama, I really want the Texans. I would love to see the Texans win it. Okay, let's see. Going back to the standings. The Steelers really, I feel like, haven't played besides the Ravens. And the Ravens really didn't even do all that well this season. So besides that, I don't really know who the Steelers have played. And plus, when will they get DK Metcalf back? I know he had a 2-game suspension. I can't remember if this was the second game or if he has one more game left. I want to go back to the NFC here. Eagles, that's one of their top ones for the NFC is the Eagles. Seahawks. Okay, like I said earlier, I go Seahawks, Eagles, then Bears. I would love to see it for the Bears because it's been a long time for the Bears. I would love to see a Cinderella story with the Bears. Steelers suck. Oh, you're funny. Let me look at the Steelers. Let me go back. I want to see who the Steelers have played. Let me look. Where's that at? Let me see if I can click on this and it'll bring me to the Steelers. There we go. So, Steelers, they lost to the Browns. They got beat bad by the Bills. We'll see who else. They got beat by the Bears. I don't know. That's going to be interesting. Let me go to the Texans now, because I want to know who the Texans have played. Y'all, I don't know if I like that. So the Texans played the Colts, but they only beat them by 8 points. And the Colts are without their quarterback. I don't know. That don't look well to me. That don't look great. That's not a great look. They did beat the Chargers. Of course they beat... Y'all, they barely beat the Raiders. Now, I don't know the player situation. I don't know if they have players out. I don't know all that. But they barely beat the Raiders. I'm trying to look at more of the... Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know if that's a great look for the Texans. Heck, I did have a Patriots-Bears Super Bowl at one time, but the Bears are a roller coaster ride. They are. They really are. Can we talk about that? Where's Postman, y'all? Where's Postman at? But, oh yeah, for those of you guys who don't know, you can follow Mailbox Sports. That's Postman. But they have had a roller coaster ride. Like, they come out, they'll win games barely. They barely win these games. And they make it a great, like, a comeback type of story there. So, the Bears are definitely a roller coaster ride. I would love to see it for the Bears, though. I'm wondering, like, a little bit of me just wonders, does the NFL want to see the Bears back in it? Do they want the Bears to finally be a Cinderella story and get them back in it? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Trey, what is up? Trey, I'm working on your drop, Trey. I need to get you an Eagles drop. It would probably be, I don't know if you like, I think you do. I think you like Devontae Smith, but it'll most likely be one of my favorite former Alabama players. Most likely, Devontae Smith will be your drop for when you show up. So, I'm going to work on that. Thought 3 a.m. Good to see you. Y'all showing up, man. Y'all could probably barely see that whenever I was looking at it, but oh well. Stephen James, what's up? Almost had their 4,000 yard passer. Are you talking about Caleb Williams? Because, let me tell you. Okay, let me say this. Hello, Stephen James. Let me say this about Caleb Williams. I always said with the Bears, if they had a great offensive line, a better offensive line, they could really make something happen. They get their offensive line back in shape. You have a quarterback who is good outside the pocket, who can make plays on the run, and you're finally seeing success again. Yeah, okay. I thought you were talking about the Bears. But you're finally seeing success again with the Bears. And I always said if they could just get their offensive line, they would be a great team. Honestly, yeah, I know people are probably not going to like this opinion. I do think Justin Fields is a good quarterback. I really do. He's just not been placed in positions. He's not been placed in great situations to show his talent. I do think whenever he was at the Steelers under Russell Wilson, and then he played for a little bit, you really kind of saw him get in a rhythm, and he was looking good. I think you've seen it a little bit whenever he was with the Steelers. But now he's with the Jets. We all know how the Jets are. That's not a program that can really build him up right now. You couldn't get it from him. Like, you couldn't see that with the Bears. I just don't think Justin Fields has had a fair shake at it. I do think he's a talented QB. Do I think he needs more time to develop under a veteran QB? Absolutely. Because we all know Russell Wilson's at the end of his career. For a long time. Since the Broncos, I thought Russell Wilson probably needs to retire. But I think Justin Fields, he would be a great quarterback if he just develops under someone. Let's see. Back at it. Y'all want me to just finally make a guess, like, who I think maybe could be at the Super Bowl? I'll do a couple of different picks. So maybe for my one storyline with the Steelers, maybe they finally give it to Aaron Rodgers and let him retire with another Super Bowl, and then Mike Tomlin also, not the retiring part, but maybe the Steelers, and could it be the Steelers and the Bears? Could we see that? Let me look. Oh, wait, no, they play. Y'all. Oh, wait, no, that's the Packers. Packers and Bears play. Man, this makes me on the fence about everything. I don't know, y'all. I can't decide between it. I'll think on it. I'll think on the question of who I think will be in the Super Bowl. Ty Pro asked me that question. Dang you, Ty Pro. Dang you. But I'll think on it and get back to y'all. Maybe I'll make a whole, like, PowerPoint presentation of it. Because that will be fun. But I think that's going to be it. I'm really tired. I want to get ready for CDT Beats. If you all know, I love CDT Beats. Go check him out. I'll drop his name here for y'all to look up. Go check out CDT Beats, because that's where I will probably most likely be later tonight to enjoy some music and have fun in the chat over there. But thank you all for watching. Peace out, Touchdown Tribe.
Something's telling me this ain't over yet. I know that last night we let the liquor talk, but baby, something's telling me this ain't over yet. I know that last night we let the liquor talk, but baby, something's telling me this ain't over yet. I know that last night we let the liquor talk, but baby, something's telling me this ain't over yet. I know that last night we let the liquor talk, but baby, something's telling me this ain't over yet. I know that last night